Hey guys, yeah, I wanted to tell you about Delta Brick and Climate Company and the feasibility study I did. When I first was working with Chris, he asked me to conduct a market sort of analysis of the Western Slope, and so that was like the predominantly what I was going to do with this project. But Dr. Mead and Dr. Borden suggested I go with the whole feasibility study, so that's what we'll be talking about. So a little bit about Delta Brick, what DBCC offers. Basically, we're going to be marketing ourselves as the only greenhouse gas negative clay brick product available on the market. And having done a little research, there appears to only be one other um, greenhouse gas negative brick, and that's in Tasmania, where they fire it with sawdust. And so, we'll also be really customer centered and doing custom orders for brick, tile, cladding, and pavers. And then why DBCC? Some of the things that we're going to be sort of promoting is that we're local, locally sourced, sustainable. There's a big push for rural economic development in Colorado, and some of our grants have been specific to that. And then just in general, improving water and climate resilience. And so the how, using sediment, which happens to be high quality clay from the Paonia Reservoir, and using it as fuel in our kilns. So one of the other things to keep it greenhouse gas negative is that we'll be predominantly on the western slope, but since we are on a train line, we can still remain greenhouse gas negative if we go to Salt Lake City or Denver. So that will be one of the things that we're going to be promoting for ourselves or marketing, that we are greenhouse gas negative brick product, even including shipping. So the technology, the methane capture is probably the most sort of advanced technology that we use. Luckily, there's already infrastructure up at Elk Creek Mine near Somerset. Aspen invested about $5 million to get that started. And so right now it's producing 3 megawatts of electricity. And then they're in partnership with Vessels Climate Solutions. And they are currently flaring any excess methane that they have. And so they will be, instead of flaring it, we'll be getting it from up there. And yeah, sorry, that was I'm not using my computer because my computer didn't work. So there's maybe dings that will be going off apparently. Lost my train of thought. Basically, we'll have a compressor station up at this site, up near Somerset, at the Elk Creek, and um, we will be. Oh my God, what's happening? And we will be putting it onto trucks and bringing it down to our location about 8 miles away. Sorry, I'm just gonna quit that because I'm not used to this computer. Okay, so excavating in the reservoir, I actually did a cost-benefit analysis of dredging versus excavating. Excavating is going to be a lot more cost-effective. This is like they're digging out around the outlet right here. But this is what it looks like at when they drain it. We're going to be excavating in August and September is when the water will go back down. There are 5 billion bricks worth of sediment in the reservoir, so there will be no shortage of sediment. And then, yeah, we have applied for a grant to do that excavation because it is in Colorado's best interest to increase the water storage capacity at that reservoir. So they are motivated to find ways to do that, and making bricks is one of those. And then, yeah, we at our factory that we've set up, this is an extruder that we bought. It can extrude far more than we can fire, so that's good to go. We currently have a small sort of pilot scale kiln, and as we go and demand increases, we'll be able to sort of add on to that. It's a modular sort of system, so adding capacity is going to be pretty easy. Same with staffing, so we'll add as we need. So market research. This is really kind of where I focused my efforts the last 2-3 weeks. Really, I've been calling various counties and cities within those counties. So Pitkin, I called Aspen, I called Basalt, I called Snowmass Village, trying to figure out what their market was like, how much building was going on. So I was able to get it's public record, the amount of building permits and the valuation of those permits. And so I was able to get that information. And I made a spreadsheet. And let's see, I can, let's see, my spreadsheet here. Counties and cities, I was able to get how much their valuation was, how many building permits, total population. Basically what I did was I was able to figure out sales per capita. So using a resource, IBIS World Report, they have a report that they do every year, for various industries. Clay bricks is one of those. And so they said the clay brick industry was about $6.3 billion last year. When you take out all the things that we wouldn't be making, I was able to get a percentage, like 53% of that. So about, let's see, here we go, 357 million. And so what I did was I used that and I kind of calculated that compared to the total U.S. construction, and then got a percentage, and this is the percent. So for every dollar that's spent, this is how much in brick that is used. And so I was able to multiply this by the total valuations in the build from the building permits to get a sort of rough estimate of how many bricks, brick products were sold in each county. So this one is San Miguel, right? So like $228,000 probably worth of bricks. And then I was able to break that down based on population to sales per capita. And my sort of thinking there was that I would then be able to figure out which counties were basically buying the most brick and which ones to focus on. So not surprisingly, the Aspen corridor, Pitkin County, has about $56 per person in brick sales. San Miguel about 26, Gunnison about 14, and then Delta is kind of anomaly because they don't. It's like the Wild West. They don't do any kind of building permits. You can just do whatever you want. So I was able to find how many septic permits they got to get an estimate of how many new builds, but I don't have evaluation on that. So some of these numbers were missing just because it was hard. It wasn't online. It was hard to get them to call me back. But this is a pretty accurate estimate of where the building is going on in the western slope. So that's going to inform where we market, and who are where we spend our time and money. This is a infographic that I made that I've given to ski resorts, town planners, universities, architects, anybody that will take it. Even when I was calling around and getting building permit information, the guy was asking who I was representing, and I told him, and then I ended up sending this to him because he was interested for his municipality in Basalt. So this is what I made this using Canvas and Canva, and then this is our website. I didn't design that, but it's pretty good homepage. Looks nice. And one of the ways that we'll be marketing and educating the public is through farmers markets this summer, and looking at those targeted populations, in Pitkin and San Miguel, Crested Butte. We are going to really hit those places up, and we feel like it's a good sort of demographic because they are concerned with climate and food, and that's why they're at a farmers market generally. So we feel like that will be a pretty good place to do our work and to as early days get a buzz going what this product is, be able to show them, have some samples, that sort of thing, and then also in sort of a co-production way be able to interface with the public and see what they want, make a email list, be able to email folks, and when we're actually at full capacity, have a database of people who are interested to promote to. So financials, this is what we're expecting. We have the pilot facility ready to go. The fact that we have free clay and free methane does make our overhead quite low. So that's a good start. We also it looks like we're going to get about $500,000 in grants to start. We will need to raise matching funds for that, so we might not be able to get all of that. Depends how much matching funds we get. But we believe that with all that, we'll be in the black from day one. We're hoping that, year one we have about $200,000 in revenue, and then doubling after that, and then hopefully by year 4 exceeding 1 million, and at which point the modular sort of adding kilns doesn't make sense, and we'll go to a full scale factory. So we're expecting pretty rapid expansion here due to our low overhead and sort of scalability. And so we're excited. And actually some of the numbers, the valuations Chris was able to use yesterday during a pitch. So I'm hoping that information is helpful to him. So thanks a lot, guys, and take care. It's a great class.